Hello children, how are you all? Welcome back to our English class. Today children, we shall see a beautiful poem. The name of the poem is The Grass is Really Like Me by Kishwar Nahid. You know children, as soon as you hear the word grass, what are the things that comes to your mind? Green, you can sit on it, and it is a food for animals, isn't it? Now children, why don't you watch this video and then come back. The story of an oak tree and the grass. An oak tree stood tall and strong and close to some grass. It was a huge tree with a huge trunk and big strong branches. The oak tree was so proud that he used to boast openly about his strength.
I am so strong and mighty, nothing can uproot me, nothing can destroy.
Listening to what the oak was saying, the grass said,
O mighty oak tree, don't be so proud of your strength. Nothing in this world is immortal. Being modest is the key.
Listening to what the grass said, the oak tree laughed and said,
Ha ha ha, you little feeble grass, what do you know about the strength and being the strongest in the jungle?
Making fun of the grass, the oak tree stood there with pride when suddenly the wind started to blow. The grass bowed their heads as the wind started getting stronger.
You are so weak. The slightest of winds make you bow your heads. How would you survive the strongest of storms? Ha ha ha.
Soon the winds turned into a hurricane and the oak tree, standing straight, continued to laugh at the grass.
O tree, you might be big and strong, but you need not worry about us. We will bow our heads in this powerful hurricane and survive it. If you continue standing straight, you will not be able to survive in these strong winds and break in no time.
No, nothing can uproot me. I am the strongest and will continue to stand tall and never bow down no matter what.
The wind got more furious and soon the hurricane took its peak. The little grass kept their heads bowed and started swinging in the rhythm of the wind, preventing themselves from getting uprooted. But the oak tree, which stood straight and tried fighting the hurricane winds. But the wind was so strong that the oak tree broke and fell down. In the end, it was the grass, not the oak, who survived. The oak tree represents those men who think are mighty and look down on women. The grass represents those women in the society who stand boldly in spite of any criticism and difficulties in life. Yes children, did you like the video? Yes, here also the poet is talking more on the grass. So in the video you saw children that how grass, though we feel it is very insignificant, it gives us a lesson that we should never succumb to our failures. We should always stand straight in any difficult moments, isn't it? So the same idea is conveyed with this poem, The Grass is Like Me, written by the poet Kishwar Nahid. Now let's learn more about this poet. Kishwar Nahid was born in Uttar Pradesh in 1940. She is one of the best known women poets of Pakistan. She has written a collection of traditional ghazals. She has also written for children and for daily newspaper junk. Her poetry has been translated into English and Spanish. Her well-known poem, We Sinful Women, was translated and edited by Ruxana Ahmed and published in London by the Women's Press in 1991. Now children, now that you have known about the poet, why don't we learn some vocabulary that comes in this poem? Yes, the first word is unfurl or open or spread out. Now let's take an example for it. So, the Indian flag was unfurled from the top of the building. Look at this word, wetness means dampness or moisture. Here, can you see this picture? There is a man walking in the rainy season. So, what could we say? The wetness on the road due to the recent rains made it difficult to walk. Manifest means reveal. So, you can see here a person is praying to God. So, our devotion to God is manifested through prayer. Yes. Lawn mower, a machine used for cutting the grass on a lawn. So, you can see here Sushil has brought a new lawn mower to mow his lawn. Now, endure means make an effort. So, you can see here all the three employees are working here. So, we could say his persistent endure bore fruit. So, let us take up the next word, merely. Merely means just, only or simply. So, here you can see the rich man, he is so happy with his money. So, you could say men do not desire merely to be rich, but to be richer than other men. Straw means a dried stalk of grain used as fodder or for thatching, packing, etc. So, you can see here there is a box filled with straw. You must have seen this, when we buy something from outside, especially when we buy some delicate things. So, those things are packed in these packets which are covered with straw. So, you could say many delicate things are mostly packed in the box of straw. Yes, children. Now, let us move on to the poem. So, this poem addresses the challenges faced by women in the present context. The poet finds similarity between her life and the life of a blade of grass. Now, let us read the poem to understand in what specific the poet and the grass are similar. So, are you ready with your textbook? Yes? So, shall we read the poem? Yes, children, come on. The grass is also like me. It has to unfurl underfoot to fulfill itself. But what does its wetness manifest? A scorching sense of shame or the heat of emotion. The grass is also like me. As soon as it can raise its head, the lawnmower, obsessed with flattening it into velvet, mows it down again. How you strive and endure to level woman down to, but neither the earth's nor woman's desire to manifest life dies. Take my advice, the idea of making a footpath was a good one. Those who cannot bear the scorching defeat of their courage are grafted onto the earth. That's how they make way for the mighty, but they are merely straw, not grass. The grass is really like me. Now children, let's analyze this poem. Now let's take the stanza 1. The grass is also like me. It has to unfurl underfoot to fulfill itself. But what does its wetness manifest? A scorching sense of shame or the heat of emotion? Now let me ask you a few questions, children. Who is the speaker of this poem? Yes, it is the poet Kishwar Nahid. So what is she comparing herself to? She is comparing herself to the grass. Why is the poet associating herself to the grass? The poet is associating herself with the grass because she feels that the condition of women and the grass are same. When she says me, she is referring to the entire women folk. So what does the phrase unfurl underfoot to fulfill itself mean? Yes, it means the grass opens out even if it is under the foot of someone to do justice to its existence. Likewise, women seek meaning in their lives even when they are trampled upon by the society. Now, a scorching sense of shame or the heat of emotion. So, what do these lines mean in the first stanza? So, here the poet's feeling of emotions are contrasting. So, she says a scorching sense of shame is because she is not able to express her suffering, and the heat of emotion shows how her heart must be burning with emotions for equality. Now, let us move on to the second stanza, children. The grass is also like me. As soon as it can raise its head, the lawnmower, obsessed with flattening it into velvet, mows it down again. Here, what is the lawnmower obsessed with? Yes, the lawnmower is obsessed with flattening the grass into velvet. And as soon as it raises its head, the lawnmower mows it down. How is the lawnmower comparable with man? The lawnmower is comparable with man because as soon as a woman tries to be independent and tries to reveal herself through her opinions and thoughts, man puts her down. So, let us move on to the third stanza, children. How can you strive and endure to level women down to? But neither the earth's nor women's desire to manifest life dies. Take my advice. The idea of making a footpath was a good one. Here, how are the earth and the women similar? Yes, both the earth and the women have the strong desire to manifest itself. They represent the spirit of life, and nothing stops them from holding on to life against all odds. So, both earth and women are created to create something new. They are created to manifest life. Now, let us move on to the fourth stanza, children. Those who cannot bear the scorching defeat of their courage are grafted onto the earth. That is how they make way for the mighty. But they are merely straw, not grass. The grass is really like me. So, what does the phrase scorching defeat refer to? Yes, the phrase scorching defeat refers to painful, burning result of the courage shown by the women. So, who are grafted to the earth? Those who cannot bear the defeat of their courage are grafted to the earth. So, those women who cannot bear the defeat, so they are thrown to the earth. So, what does the poet mean by the words grafted onto the earth? The poet means that the defeated are suppressed down as the grass is cut and thrown out. So, how is the ironical ideas used by the poet in the last stanza? Yes, the poet accepts the fact that there are a whole lot of women who are unable to withstand insult and succumb to shameful defeat. So, these women are meek and make way for men, by being grafted to the ground like straw. Similarly, it's ironic that the grass that seems to be the weakest aspect of nature is resilient and can come back to life again despite the repeated onslaught against it. The poet feels stronger women like her are like the grass which has the ability to come up in life. Now children, we have analyzed the poem, isn't it? Now what you have to do is, you have to choose the words from the bubble that describes the mood of the poet. So you can see the words given here. What is it? Tranquil, dejected, repulsive, reflective, contented, pensive, wistful and resentful. So here you have to choose which are the words that is describing the mood of the poet. Okay. Are you ready children? Yes. So the first word is resentful. Next is reflective. She is pensive. She is wistful. And she is also dejected. And you can see she is also repulsive. But she is not tranquil, which means peace. She does not have that peace. Or neither she is contented with her life. So why is she opting all these words? Or why should we choose these words to describe the mood of the poet? Come, let's see that. So we can say she is resentful because she is resentful towards the ill treatment of women in the society. And we can say she is reflective, pensive and wistful, means the poet is thoughtful of the fate of the women in the society. Next we can say she is also dejected because with the present scenario where women are pushed down and their opinions are unheard. And you can say she is also repulsive. The poet sows the seed of revolt when she says that women who make way for men by being grafted to the ground are meek like straw. She urges women to come up in life like the grass. Now children, the poet has used some unusual words and phrases to evoke images in the reader's mind. Can you pick out such phrases from the poem children? Yes, can you recall those words? Yes, let me help you all. Yes, the first phrase is unfurl underfoot, heat of emotions, flattening it into velvet, scorching defeat, grafted onto the earth, to make way for the mighty. See, all these words bring out images as soon as we read these phrases, isn't it? Yes. Now children, match the phrases with the ideas given in the box. So let me give you the phrase. The first one is scorching sense of shame. Second one, heat of emotions. Third one, scorching defeat. Fourth one, raise its head. Fifth one, make way for the mighty. So now let me jumble the ideas and give it to you. So first one, outshine, shameful defeat, insult, embarrassed and try to progress. Now children, let us see if you have matched the phrases with the ideas. Yes? Can we see the answer children? Yes. The first one, scorching sense of shame. It means embarrassed. She feels insulted because she is not able to put forth her ideas to the society. Heat of emotions refers to the insult. Scorching defeat refers to the shameful defeat. Fourth one, raise its head refers to try to progress. And fifth one, make way for the mighty refers to being outshining. Now, there are some figure of speech used in this poem, children. Now, you need to identify the figure of speech used in the given lines. So, first sentence is, the grass is also like me. Second sentence, as soon as it can raise its head, the lawnmower, obsessed with flattening it into velvet, mows it down again. But they are merely straw, not grass. Fear is the tax that the conscience pays to guilt, and work is food for noble minds. Oh, the sixth one, man needs God as he needs water and oxygen. So, let us put all these in different column, children. So, we have three column here, simile, metaphor and personification. So, you have to choose those lines which belong to these figure of speech. So, shall we see the first one, children? Yes. The first one is, the grass is also like me. Here it is a simile. Why it is a simile? Here because the grass is being compared to the poet, isn't it? Second one, as soon as it can raise its head, the lawnmower, obsessed with flattening it into velvet, mows it down again. Now, here the figure of speech uses personification. What is the meaning of personification, children? So, personification means giving life to a lifeless objects, isn't it? So, here you can see, as soon as it can raise its head. So, here it refers to the grass. Can the grass raise its head? It is the quality of a man, isn't it? And so, it is a personification here. Let us move on to the third one. But they are merely straw, not grass. So, here it is a metaphor. Why it is a metaphor, children? Yes, here is also the comparison is happening, but we are not using the words like or as in simile, isn't it? So, it is a metaphor. Now, let us take the next sentence. Fear is the tax that the conscience pays to guilt. Here this line, it is a personification, because again here we are giving life to the lifeless object here, which is that. So, fear is the tax that the conscience pay. So, conscience is paying something. Can conscience pay something? No, it is a non-living thing, right? And so, it is a personification here. Next one, children. Work is food for noble minds. Again, it is a metaphor. Can you tell me why? Yes, here work is food for noble mind. Again, there is a comparison. No, instead of saying work is like food for noble minds, we are directly saying work is food for noble minds. So, we are comparing the work to the food here, right? And so, it is a metaphor. Next, man needs God as he needs water and oxygen. Now, this is a perfect example of simile. Why? Because there is a comparison of two different objects. Now, children, let us move on to the highlights of the poem. Now, we can see the poem, The Grass is Really Like Me, is a feministic poem, isn't it? And the poet compares herself to the grass. The poet feels the condition of women and of the grass is the same, and when the grass is cut or grafted, it grows again. Similarly, a woman's feelings and emotions which are surpassed by the dominant section of the society raise up again and again. So, women who are defeated while showing courage are suppressed just as the grass is cut and thrown down. The poet says she does not want to be the straw which is cut and thrown on the ground, but like the grass which even after repeated grafting grows again or raises the head again. So, children, we have come to the end of our class. It was such a beautiful poem, isn't it? So children, you can see today's woman is leading a life which is catering to various domains, starting from family to profession to social arenas and a lot more, isn't it? She performs multiple roles while being in a single body. Now look at this picture, children. Can you see? She is a daughter, she is a mother, she is a wife, she is a friend, she is a professional, she is a mother-in-law, she becomes a daughter-in-law. So she plays various roles. You have seen that in your homes also, how your mummy, your sister played different role, isn't it? So you can say it is not the profession, not marriage, not motherhood, nor any other relationship, but the essence of being a woman that facilitates the transition of humanity from one level to other, makes the woman a special being. Yes, women are special, children. Though sometimes we fail to understand, we are created in a very special way by God. Where the ladies are respected, there the God resides. Isn't it, children? So remember this and always respect women. So why don't we see the today's assignment? Yes, the assignment is, so you have to summarize the poem in your own words and you have to collect at least 5 pictures and information of great women who have achieved great things in life. So will you do this assignment, children? It was a very interesting class and I hope you follow the message that is given in this poem, that is to respect women. Thank you, children. Have a great time. Thank you.